an atlas for the things you're about to see. A hip-hop fueled LSD acid dream casually. Sit back, the impact may sting. Just relax, let my poetics do its thing. Looking back is prohibited. We are one with the music. Kunta Kinte to instrumentals and acoustics. You lose it, your eardrums crash and withdrawal. 100-yard dash straight into a brick wall. Well, once again, you got Nana here, you got Sabby, and we have Jody once again, number 2. Today, I think we're going to be talking a little bit more around the dating scene, just because everybody loves that. But not only do we have, my crazy shenanigans and the crazy chicanery from Sabrina, but we have Jody here.
A fresh new take.
Fresh new take. But from what I understand, you got some crazy experiences too. And I think that for this, we would love, and I think everybody here, not only us, but whoever's actually listening to this, would love to hear the craziest, batshit insane story of online dating that Jody has.
I don't know if it's the craziest, but it's the most recent and was so off-putting and just made it so clear what a crisis we have with honesty and just how people show up. I was a little bit reluctant to go on a date with someone, but I thought, he seems super nice, so how bad can it be with a super nice person?
Okay.
Probably very honest, nothing to worry about, seems very sweet. And so I reluctantly agreed in a short amount of time, so didn't have all the back and forth chatter to kind of suss out
Okay.
what was happening here. So he had made a quick joke about, wouldn't it be funny if we showed up in sweatpants? And I thought,
Note to men out there, ain't cool. Just telling you right now, it's just not cool.
Unless they're gray sweatpants.
Okay. We have standards.
Oh, that light gray?
Light gray.
Okay.
Women know what we're talking about with the gray sweatpants.
Wait. What's going on here? Wait, what?
Those are special. That's
there's
another
a lot
episode.
of memes on Instagram, and anyone do your homework on the gray sweatpants?
Yeah.
Gray
I'm gonna save
sweatpants?
it.
That's another conversation.
This
We're
is
not
a
going to
thing?
derail.
The thing.
Oh my goodness.
It's like the sundress for women is the gray sweatpants for a man.
Okay. So I guess then the gray sweatpants with the Timberland boots isn't exactly a good look then, right? Or is it?
I don't think anyone looks that low down on the gray sweatpants.
There's a certain direction. No.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was sort of categories of these sweatpants or like a hierarchy of sweatpants.
There is a
It's a
hierarchy.
factual part with the snacks right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Now we're getting the facts. We're going to get back to that a little bit later, but keep
So
going.
it should have been a little bit of a red flag that was their sense of humor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I thought, you know what? They're probably just a little bit on the dorky side.
That's true.
But nice people can be, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So show up and walk in. There he is holding 6 dozen roses
Oh no.
in a sweatpants.
Oh
They were not
no.
the gray ones. They were a khaki sweatpants.
Wait, was this the
Like
first
a
date
leisure-
or something?
Yeah, first
Number
date.
one.
Yo. Wow.
In his
Okay.
leisure pants.
Yeah.
There's a lot
cover,
going on.
And I think you guys know me well enough to know I get embarrassed easily. I don't like to stand out. I don't like anyone looking at me. Don't see me. Don't.
This is like the epitome of opposite and what not to do for Jones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nightmare already.
So where did you guys meet?
We met at a local pub, which was also quite bad because there's a risk of people seeing me.
Yep.
Oh.
I didn't think I'd have to worry about someone coming onto my territory.
So he's sitting in a
Stand-
local.
No, standing.
He was
Stand-
standing at the front when I arrived, and I
Oh.
wanted to
The
walk back
entrance.
out.
See, I'm actually mad at the local pub. They should have someone come out there and warn you. They
Yeah.
can be like, okay, well, what's her name? And be like, okay, he's like, yeah, this guy's standing here
Yeah.
in sweatpants with like half a dozen roses.
Yeah.
You might want to exit the premises. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
and the
quickly.
problem was the nice young women working at the pub at the front and then coming around were like, oh, what beautiful flowers. So he was being encouraged and reinforced with this behavior because he wasn't understanding that they were just trying to be nice because it was awkward for all of us. The whole place was feeling awkward. Everyone's feeling awkward for me, for him.
Because I could probably tell, oh, she's not, they don't know each other. Oh.
Even with the mask on, my eyes could just show
First date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
let her continue.
Keep going.
So we get seated, and he's like, "Oh, I told you I was going to do the sweatpants thing," and I was like, "You sure did." And then proceeds to take his sweatpants off.
What?
He had pants underneath. Another pair of khakis, but not sweatpants. But still khakis.
Oh.
He's prepared for everything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yes.
So he whipped those off
in the pub. Keep this in mind.
Where did he put his sweat? I hope he didn't hang the sweatpants
just
up
next to him on the bench.
Oh, okay, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just was very awkward. I think he'd not really been on dates since he was like, I don't know, ever. It sounded like he kind of got married early on. The first person he was ever with, if you know what I mean, was the person he married.
Yeah.
So had zero experience with dating and women and life and was just very fresh. And he told me about his first 2 dating experiences where one had 3 proposals in the past year and another one was actually pretty much like a catfisher.
Oh my word.
Oh.
So he was just very naive and just making very bad life choices. But the part where I really wanted to walk out of the restaurant, of the pub, was when he shared with so much confidence that he was choosing not to ever go back to work, or maybe part-time possibly. He was a stay-at-home dad with 3 kids that were all old enough to be doing their own thing, going to school. But he was very excited about the fact that for another, I think, 13 years or whatever, he could just not work because his wife would pay him alimony. So he was just going to sit at home and, I don't know, do what?
Watch Price is Right. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing.
My jaw just about dropped. And this is not about like male role, female role. No. And I said to him, it's just that doesn't work for me. Someone who isn't ambitious.
Yeah, call it what it is.
Yeah. But of course, on his profile, he said he had a job and made himself sound very exciting. And he was polar opposite. So we were finishing up the date and we walk outside and he's like, so do you want to go on a second date? And I paused for a very long time.
How do you formulate? Right?
And he knew in that moment. But I was like, yeah, I don't know. I might be getting a dog. I guess maybe we could go for a dog walk, but I'm going to be very busy. And we said our goodbyes. And then later that night, he messages me and he's like, had a great time. And thanks for being very kind with how you responded to the second date question. Is there anything I could do better next time I go on a date? And
you feel for him a little.
I don't like the victim mentality.
No,
right?
Yeah. But it's clear that he hasn't had a date in a long time. And he's just really...
He just needs to go on a lot of dates.
Yeah, he's really
and get practice.
A lot.
There is.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the not working is a red flag.
And not sharing that in advance.
To
me, that's you share you have kids, you share if you're out of work, you share really big,
or if that's what you see as your work, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
Share it.
He does sound like a nice guy. He sounds very
very beta.
He's
I mean, I could have been go lay down in front of the fireplace and he probably would have done it.
Jeez.
That wasn't super appealing.
No.
But I mean, this whole dishonesty thing, the last person I dated before was super dishonest about where they were at in life and that they were ready to date when they weren't. They lied about their height. It's why people think you can get away with this and it's not going to catch up with you is where I just, I don't get it. My mind's blown all the time.
I have to admit, I don't know how ladies deal with that, because I know a lot of the times, and I see a lot of guys that lie about their height, right?
Because like, I mean, they'll be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm 6 feet. And then all of a sudden they date a girl that's like, 5'10", and then she's way taller than them. And you're just like, oh, that's a shame. Granted, it's nothing I've really had to deal with, but like, I mean, like when that happens, I'm just like, so what do you do? Like in that kind of thing, when everything like just keeps falling apart, and it's just like everything is misrepresented. You're just like, yeah, that was a lie. It's like, clearly that's not your picture.
Oh yeah, it goes both ways though. Men and women do this.
Oh,
women
it
lie
really does. Oh yeah,
As
I've had
pictures?
that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
It makes people jaded, so that
It
they
really
start
does.
to look at your phone and be like, "Oh, that's not real,"
It's true.
and so they don't put in the effort because they're thinking those past
It's true.
experiences now are being
It's true.
added to yours,
It's true.
which is a shame.
It really is.
'Cause
I
you
mean,
miss out on good opportunity, and we all do it.
Well, I mean, online dating is hard enough. It's just like
Yes.
getting the trust just to get back in there on online, and then that kind of stuff happens.
And not getting bored because I get bored very easily.
Yeah,
I
it's like,
can't. I was like, if you can't keep me engaged, I'm like, I'm peace out, man.
yeah, exactly.
Better
You're
in
just like-
person.
You're just like, oh, okay.
I don't want to send another message. I really don't.
I hate that. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't do the whole small talk over thing. Like, we'll talk, make sure, talk enough that you know that I'm not a psycho.
Yes,
kind of
yes.
thing. And then I'm like, hey, let's just meet up.
Yeah, I like that.
Like,
The
let's do
initiative.
that. Yeah, because like in
Yes.
this, and I'm like, that's pretty much. I'll admit, I grew up old school, and that's how we were taught. We're just like, you want to
Meet
initiate
up.
it, you meet up, and you go for it, kind
Yeah.
of thing. No, don't wait for someone else to start if you want.
That's
to meet
true.
up, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The guy sounds harmless though.
Harmless, just such a disaster.
Yeah,
when
it's a
someone
little
has
bit
been
of a
out of the
disaster.
game
Yes.
that long. I mean, you have the extremes. You have someone that plays the game so well. They've essentially invented it. And then you have someone that they show up and they're just like deer in headlights. Like they don't even know when they're quoting The Office, and they're just like they have nothing to talk about, and it's just awkward and painful. And
Well, I mean, what got me is like, I thought we were in sweatpants. And just like whips them off, and I'm just
Clark Kent.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, what were you expecting? This is just weird kind of.
and then he's like, I knew you wouldn't, but I want to do the thing. And I was like, no,
But
don't do the thing.
Exactly.
Social awkwardness is so hard to deal and handle.
Yeah.
And you can't know that until you go out with them.
you
Because
can't.
I've definitely had this happen many times where someone is a great texter and they're funny and there's amazing
Great
banter.
Yes.
And you meet them in person and it's like the rug is ripped from underneath you.
I had that in Edmonton. Really, really good banter with this person. Really like active, really nice person. Like, and it was just fun and just like random crap. Went on the date and I was like pulling teeth. I was like, I don't know what to do in this scenario. I was like, you were talking nonstop, texting. That's when I stopped texting like crazy. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And like then got mad at me that I didn't want to engage anymore. I was like, I didn't know what to say after that because I was like, there was nothing. There was just, it was dead.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were just nervous. Maybe that could have been it. But I was like, oh, this is too much work. It shouldn't be that much work.
Exactly. It
Right?
shouldn't
It should
be.
just
it should
be
be
normal.
organic and chill.
Exactly.
Like as soon as you have to like put in like, okay, this person wants me to text like every freaking 2 seconds or something like that. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Or like you're like, hey, you know what? Let's go out, and then you're just like, well, you know what? Like not only do I not want to go where you want to go, but I want you to choose something new every damn time. And you're just like, okay, well, fine. Like even it shouldn't like it could be something as chill as like, hey, you know what? I'm going to Costco. You want to like roll on by? And they're like, yeah, sure, cool, kind of thing. Like, want a movie? It's just like chill, organic. It's like really organic. So, but it's not like that anymore.
No, it's extremes of everything where people are good on their phone, not good in person.
Yeah.
They get lazy with thinking of things to do, so it's just like, let's just sit on the couch again. It's become so painful, and I don't like taking the lead.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little old school. I do appreciate it.
Okay, so you guys are old school. Okay,
I am old
that's
school
cool.
in that.
I usually take the lead anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
I appreciate when guys do that.
I have yet to see it work out when you take the lead as a woman.
Yeah, me too.
I've been so walked over by taking the lead, planning everything, paying for everything, doing, and none of that is reciprocated. And then they're very quick to just bolt too.
Yeah.
Because there's no challenge. nothing for them to do, and they get lazy and complacent. And
I feel like this last guy though that you went out with could totally have been like, yeah, if you had taken the lead, I would feel like he would just roll over and be happy.
Yeah, that's true. That is a story. With him, glad you didn't take the lead.
You dodged
Because it
that.
would have been an issue
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Woo.
well, and I've had memorable long distance relationships where I'd fly to who knows where, and I would show up, and they wouldn't even have food in the fridge. Like literally nothing was planned. Not
Yep.
even like feeding the woman that got off a very lengthy flight.
Yeah.
See, some guys, some guys kind of get me, like they boggle my mind at that point. When you get a girl to come back to your place, and I want to, like, you do that, that's when you got to have your stuff together, because you're at the home. It's like home court advantage, right?
Mm.
So I mean, you can dictate a whole bunch of things, right? And you can have everything ready. You can make it a really special night. That's what I usually do. I'm always like, okay, well, she's coming here. Not only I clean, like some guys never clean their damn washers, which is gross. And I'm just like, all right, you clean, you get everything ready. Even if you're ordering out, you get the food, get an ideas, get all that stuff, get the wine ready, get everything ready. You get what you're going to do, but that's like if she wants to come in or whatever, like that kind of thing. Some guys are just like, oh, she's coming. Oh, shoot, I better put on my pants kind of thing. And like that kind of thing where it's like, oh man, I didn't even wash my clothes. I gotta go have a shower. That's okay. I'll just put on cologne, that kind of thing. And that's like some guys don't put in the effort for it. I don't know. I blame the new generation.
Yeah. I spent
They're all-
days with one person I was with long distance eating crackers and lunch meat because he refused to go grocery shopping and we wouldn't go out for dinner or really do anything. And so I essentially starved for days and also was bored out of my mind. All we did was binge watch TV shows for days.
See, it's like I have no problem like if it's like once in a while, but if you think that is going to be like, keep a woman. Yeah,
This is the beginning of dating.
Yeah, that's
too.
like when you're not beginning.
We're not
When
married.
you guys are like comfortable and you can wear those gray sweatpants together, because I don't even know what that's about. But like, yeah, like when you guys actually can do it, then yeah, sure. But like at the
It
beginning,
has to be more. There has to be at least a conversation or
course
something
it does.
and a movie or something
Yeah.
and you're binge. Like, don't just be like
Yeah.
straight up, let's just in the couch.
Yeah.
You have to do something.
And the common thread with a lot of these people too is they're usually like mental health wise not in a good place. They're either chronically depressed, don't want to be upfront about that until you have to confront them,
Yeah.
or there's some other things going on in their head. So they're not present. So they go into this lazy mode
Yeah.
and they're just not in the right place for
Yeah.
dating or a relationship, but they don't want to share that. Like it's almost like their ego's protecting
See,
all
and
of
that's
it.
the thing. If they actually
I think
came
you're
out
right
and
about
said
that.
that, then it's absolutely fine. You're just
Mhm.
like, I'm just not in that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you want to, like, even like you're like, hey, I'm not in the spot to date. I like you, but I'd rather be a friend with you or something
Yeah.
like that right now. That's fine. It's 100% okay. It's like whatever. We'll binge Breaking Bad together for a day or something. But like,
Yeah. They
I
hope you're
guess you
magically going to like make the depression go away because you've showed up and you're a shiny new thing and you
Yeah.
can't.
No. They got to get their shit together.
yeah, and they are the ones who have to get it together.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be someone else. Can't be someone else.
Not
Do
at
you
all.
have you had like no shit together women that you've dated?
Oh yeah, like all the time. Like all the time. Well, I mean, well, like I mean, a lot of the times, I'm not gonna lie, it's usually about. I don't really take those cues. I'll be honest with you. Like I mean, even before the last girl I went out with, and the last girl that I was actually a little bit more serious with, which got, I got dumped because I wasn't religious enough, which is another story about that. But yeah, like none of them had cars.
Mm.
I don't know how these women find
I
it, but
don't-
like
yeah, I don't even know. a
carless
woman
women
without a
find
car.
Nana.
Yeah, none of them had cars.
Oh.
And they lived like downtown, and they were just like, yeah, it's okay. So
But not just that, they don't know how to drive too, right?
yeah, they don't know how to.
It wasn't even like, if you don't have a car and live downtown, that's fair
Yeah.
because you don't really need it.
Yeah,
But you don't know how to
they're-
drive and in your 30s,
Yeah.
and you might have had issues, I get that, but if there's no willingness,
Yep.
I'm just like, how how is this possible?
Yeah, it's totally true. And like, I mean, they were like, I mean, they were nice enough, right? Well, except for the one that COVID ghosted me, which was an interesting story on that. The one where it's like, hey, you know, I've got COVID symptoms, and then while not knowing that I work in Mission and I walk around that area, I see her sitting with another guy at a thing, and I was just like, oh yeah, COVID symptoms.
And the same person wanted you to drive said person to get tested for COVID. Hell no. When I heard that, I was like, don't you dare pick her up. I think I told her, you. I was like,
she was
don't you dare pick her
like,
ass
don't
up.
You dare pick her up.
I will disown you as my friend. Because that is just terrible. That's not a nice human being. I'm sorry.
No.
That is not.
No. Oh yeah.
That's a user.
It's
true. I
true.
don't like people who use each other.
It's
Like,
true.
no,
It's true. So, I mean, and like the other one I had, she was all right. Like, I mean, she just didn't have a car, and she didn't. But she was like nice. She was working and everything like that. That's the one who was like, yeah, you have to be like religious and everything. So, like, I mean, she wanted like, you know all the words of the Bible instead of me, who was like, yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm more about I'm drunk like on Sunday morning praying to God to make me feel better kind of Christian.
South Park Christian.
But like it's like oh Jesus, yeah, it's all good kind of thing. That's kind of me, but yeah, but that's that. So I mean, yeah, I've had some very interesting experiences with women who hadn't had their stuff together. But even with me, like, I mean, if you haven't had someone for a little bit, like really, really for a bit, sometimes you're just like, well, you know, maybe you start to make excuses for it, right? And you're just like, you know what, maybe they're like, you know, they're just in like a rough patch. They'll get better. Or like, this is happening right now. And it's just like, oh, well, you know, and it took a little bit of time for me to just say like, no, I can't do that because that screws me over a lot. And heck, I'm still learning that myself. But we'll talk about my stuff a little bit later. This is about Jody. Guest here. Do we have time for another story here? No, I don't know.
We may have to save it for another.
We have to save it for another.
Yeah, and I can think of more of them. There's a lot.
We could probably have a whole podcast just dedicated to the wiles and pursuit of online dating. I feel like, yeah.
You need your own section.
Yeah.
We just need like, you know.
Welcome to Jody's Corner.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we can go with that. That would be even better if we could do it live from like, you know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The crying corner.
Oh my God, we have to
should
introduce our podcast friends to the Tiki Corner, the crying corner. Yes, friends, we do have one of these, and it has been used many a time and referred to many a moment.
Well, you know what? That crying corner looks absolutely hilarious. I haven't been there yet.
We need to dust it off. It's time to resurrect.
Jeez.
Yes.
Almost 2 years of just sitting there unused.
I know.
Jeez.
We may have to each other houses have a special crying section memorial.
We do. Crying section memorial.
That could be your thing, live from the crying room.
Yes. Oh, that's epic. We found it live from the crying room.
Well, you know, as long as we have that one.
Or corner.
Is it Boy George that sang the crying game song? We should have that playing in the back.
Oh.
Although that's about something totally different. We should totally have that playing.
Totally going to take that over and make it
It's about the crying game. The back going on. But I think that
it's time to wrap it up.
It's time to wrap it up.
And save the juiciness for the next episode.
Absolutely. So, it's been fun, everybody. I wish everybody a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
All bars, no flaws. Majestic in all your expression. Perfections in all you was blessed with. Oblivious, you thought you was helpless. From a young prince to a strong king. Heights that you passed in your crash showed greatness. By the hearts that you touched, you had to know you was loved.